So dear students, our topic is letter writing today. Letter writing has been taught, in different other classes. You must have been, learning letter writing in your 9th class, 10th class and different other classes. We also teach letter writing in beginner classes, right? In Urdu literature also it is taught. So here, what sort of letter do we have to write in our course? You have to write and you have to learn what sort of letters that I'll be telling you. Firstly, let me tell you what letter writing is. Somewhat I want you to have introduction of letter writing, my dear students. So let's see how do I make you introduced. So letter writing is an essential skill. My dear student, it is very important skill, even though despite the prevalence of emails and text messages, everyone has to write letters at some points. Everyone has to write letters. So dear students, some students do ask that we can do emails, we can do we can use some other resources to communicate or to convey the message. So why do we write letters, my dear students? There are so many types of letters, written, and they are conveyed, and they are, conveying the messages. So here some formal letter writing as well, some informal letter writing as well. So my dear students, letters of complaints, jobs, job applications, thank you letters, letter of requesting changes or making suggestions. Excuse me. The list goes on and on. There are so many types of letters, my dear students, that we do and we write and we have to learn. So by the time you will be learning different sort of letters, my dear students, encouraging children, one thing here it should be noted that encouraging children to write letters from an early age will improve their communication. This is very important point, my dear student, for you, that if you learn writing letters, so you learn to improve communication. So communication skill is very strong skill that you need wherever you are and however and whatsoever you are doing. If you are a very professional person, so you must improve your communication. So through letters, through writing letters, students improve their communication skill as well. Social and handwriting skills. Social skills, now we have been using so many social resources for communications. There we are so much informal as well, and sometimes we have to be formal as well. So here we must know where to be formal and where not to be formal, or where to be we can be informal or frank, and where not to be. So these are the skills we must learn. One thing more, handwriting skill. Right, dear students, if you write emails, that is another skill. But if you write a letter in your handwriting, so my dear student, you also improve your handwriting skill as well. Handwriting skills. Sometimes students say that here social media or electronic media has been, active, much active. So why do we improve our handwriting? Why do we learn handwriting skills? So my dear students, as you have been studying in your first year or second year classes will be doing, so you must have come to know that handwriting skills are even even though important, whether their electronic media has been much active. Students have to improve their handwriting skills, and also teacher teach them what they need to know about writing and structuring letters. Also when you learn letter writing, my dear students, so you would come to know how to write and what is the structure of the particular letter. My dear students, let's see on the things. How to write a letter. How to write a letter. Will learn. I'll be letting you know the format, what letter you are writing in. So I will be teaching you what is the format or of a particular writer, what you have to use in your course. Of course, there are many more types of letters, but we will concentrate especially those letters or those formats what you need in your examination papers, right? So we will focus on them. But firstly, we must understand basically how to write a letter. A letter is a written message that can be handwritten or printed on paper. So that means that is a message. Letter, there is a message, there is always a message in the letter. Either it is handwritten or it is printed. So it could be printed if you use electronic media or a printer, or it could be handwritten as well. Or somewhat when we apply for the job, so along with our resume, we'll have to, attach our covering letters that could be also handwritten or printed. When we print our resume, so we can print our covering letter as well. So it is usually sent to the recipient via mail or post in an envelope. So if it is in a shape of, if you are using electronic media, so you can send to the recipient via mail. Or if you are writing with your hands, you're using your hands, it is a handwritten letter, so you can post your letter in an envelope. Although this is not a requirement as such, these days putting your letter into an envelope and posting is it takes a bit more time. So instead of using much time, so you want to save your time and you want to convey your message so earlier as soon as possible. So people use mail, electronic mail in that manners. Any such message that is transferred via post is a letter. So that can be definition. Any such message that is transferred via post is a letter. A written conversation between two parties. So it does not mean that only you write letter, you can get the answer of the letter as well. So that could be conversation between peoples, right? You write a letter and they give the answers. You write one more letter, they give one more answer. So our communication can be continued, my dear student, in that manners. So what we are doing here, my dear students, we are following the type of letter is letter to the editor. It's a sort of complaint letter. So in your examination paper, usually, we use complaint letters. So complaint letters are usually written to the editor, right? So what sort of letter is that? A letter to the editor is a letter sent to a publication. So the letter what you write to the editor, you want that letter to be publication, right? About issues of concern from its readers. So why do we want the letter for publications? Because there is some sort of issue, or there are some sort of problems or issues in the locality. So there in your letter, there, it can be complaint over there, and you want it to be published so that everybody can learn, everybody can understand that problem, or you also address to the concerned authorities for taking some valuable actions, right? Usually letters are intended for publication. In many publications, letters to the editor may be sent either through conventional mail or electronic mail. So it can be possible, my dear students, that letter to the editor could be sent via mail or conventional mail, like we can post letter in handwritten. A handwritten letter could be used, or could be settled in could be put into the envelope and posted. So let's see what sort of writer. My dear student, I am showing this format for you not to follow. This is the left side correspondence, my dear students. So in complaint letter, we don't usually follow this sort of correspondence. Like, this is a sort of pattern as well, but you don't need to follow it. I will be telling you the format, but you have to use it, right? But here they're telling that from address, date, to like editor, or it's a letter of feedback, right? Address, right? So there are some changes in writing to the editor, writing a letter to the editor, my dear students. So let's continue what we are gonna do. We are doing complaint letter. As I have told you, my dear students, that we are doing complaint letter. When we have some sort of complaint into the locality, there can be some sort of problems in society. People must be facing those problems in their daily lives, so they are much worried. The pathetic condition of the locality, it provokes you to write a letter. Or sometimes you go to the police for complaining such sort of problems, and you don't find their solution, and you don't find police taking action. So you go to the editor and you write a complaint letter to the editor, so that you can address concerned authorities for taking some valuable and some important actions, so that those problems could be solved by through proper process by concerned authorities, and people can get satisfied in their daily lives, and they can continue their daily lives with with the tranquility. Right, dear students, so let's continue. There this is some sort of point, some sort of question that is used in your examination paper, section C. In section C, students are supposed to write a letter to the editor. So you are given a topic that on what topic you will have to write a letter to the editor. So here some hot issues are used excuse me, for writing letter, my dear students. As I have selected here, write a letter to the editor of the newspaper against mobile snatching or street crimes. So mobile snatching has been a very critical problem, especially in the Karachi city, and people are much worried. Whenever they go outside, they are having their valuable mobiles and costly mobiles, and into the streets, on the road, into the markets, shopping mall, or anywhere, the mobile snatchers can come and they can snatch their valuable mobiles. Along with those mobiles, they can any sort of data that is quite personal for the person could be published, and that is a sort of very critical and very very critical problem, can be said, right, dear students? So let's continue. Let me tell you how to write. So being students, you will have to use examination hall as address. So right side on the top of your page, you will have to write examination hall. This is the place, my dear student, where you have to write the address. So because you are a student and you are writing that letter in your examination paper, so my dear students, you don't have to write, well, that is the rule that you don't have to mention your data, any of your data, neither name nor address or not anything into the paper, right, into the examination copy. So you don't need to mention your address over there. We can suppose some address, right, or write examination hall, right. Along with that, ABC Road is a imaginative address, right. Then Karachi, you are, because you are the citizen of Karachi, so we'll have to write the city name over there like it is Karachi. Then date, and the format of date, my dear student, you need to observe the format of date. You also write the date 25th slash 3 slash 2020. So this sort of format is not followed in any of application and letter. And you also write 25th dash 3 dash 2020. So this is the format should not be followed. So the format which you can follow, I have mentioned over here, my dear students, like 25th March 2020, or you also can follow the format like March 25th, 2020, right, dear students. So always be careful writing date in your letter or application. This is the format that you need to follow. You must observe over here, my dear students. And let's continue. Come to the left side, my dear student. Here you address your editor. So to the editor, comma. Now after writing to the editor, my dear students, you will have to write the name of newspaper. So that can be the News, Daily Dawn, or any other newspaper. So here, let's see what we are addressing to. We are addressing Daily Dawn Karachi. Daily Dawn Karachi. Right, dear students? And leaving one line, next line used for writing subject. Subject is most important in letters or application, my dear students, because if person don't have much time to read the letter, so he can somewhat follow subject. By understanding subject, he can understand problem. Like if you write a letter to the editor, and anybody who wants to understand, who wants to learn what is the matter, or what is the problem, what is the complaint that the letter is written for, so he can firstly see the subject, and after that he can understand what could be the problem. If he is very much habitual reading this sort of letter, so he can understand body as well. It can save time. But also, my dear student, it is for you to be for you, it is easier for you to show your problem over here and address to the editor, right, dear students. So leaving one more line, you will have to write or address another line like respected sir, respected sir, and then comma, and leave that line. Don't write here with that line, right, after respected sir, comma, and you start writing from here. It is a very wrong way, my dear student. You will have to leave that line and continue the next line, right. And there is a paragraph. This is starting structure, and it is used, it is said as body. This sort be can be like format, the part of format, discourse marks, and this is the body, right. So now this is complaint letter. So there must be people around the locality for facing this problem. So writer has written we. It is not the letter that one person is writing the letter. So we, all the residents, are facing this problem, so they are all together addressing the authorities. So who we, comma, so we have to tell who we are. So we are the residents of Korangi. Then comma, actually the sentence is that we want to bring the notice. So we, who we have to tell within the commas. that we are the residents of Korangi crossing. So we are not following like we are the residents. Actually, we are using comma here and here. We are blocking our identification like the residents of Korangi crossing, and continue what we want to say. Want to bring to the notice of Chief Justice of Pakistan and Prime Minister of Pakistan through column of your esteemed newspaper. So here, complainant want to address Prime Minister and Chief Justice of Pakistan that the mobile snatching and the street crimes have become a common feature of our daily life. So that has been very common. Mobile snatching has been very common, that every day people are facing this problem and they are not safe from the mobile snatchers. So now we, the residents of Korangi crossing, very much worried about it. Daily hundreds of mobiles are snatched. Men and women are robbed of their valuable wallets and cash in the streets. Also, mobile with the mobile snatching, they snatch cash as well on the roads and van, in the coaches, everywhere. Writers say everywhere they are doing that. We have logged many complaints at the various police stations, but no serious action has been taken against the culprits, and the crime is increasing day by day, increased of going down instead of going down. So writers say that the crime is increasing because after doing so many complaints to the police station, there is no action taken to remove these sort of culprits or criminals, or to arrest them, or to taking in the notice. So now people are compelled to address Prime Minister of Pakistan and Chief Justice of Pakistan. So they are addressing. So we now, in the third paragraph, writers say that we therefore request you to publish this letter in your widely read newspaper, so that the everlasting steps are taken to bring an end to such crimes, mobile snatching and street crimes. My dear students, writer has completed this letter. Let's see, we'll have to write, truly yours, sincerely yours, residents of Korangi crossing. We complete this letter like residents of Korangi crossing. Right, dear student, there are so many other topics that you can write complaint letters. So let's do some more topics here. One more topic written, my dear students, like write a letter to the Inspector General of the Police of SINDH. इंस्पेक्टर जनरल को किसी प्रॉब्लम के लिए एड्रेस किया माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स. सो द फॉर्मेट इज लाइक सेम एग्जामिनेशन हॉल एट द top of your paper, right side top of your paper, examination hall, ABC Road as address, my dear students, Karachi like your city, and date format, my dear student, as I have already told you what is the format of date, my dear students. Like next you come to left side and you have to address the editor. So to the not editor, to the general inspector general of police. So you are very direct to the inspector general of the police. You are not writing this letter to the editor. So this also you may learn over here. Government of Sindh, Karachi. Leaving one line, now you have to write the discourse, that subject, lawlessness in locality. This is what some sort of problem that we have already discussed. We have written a letter to the editor showing complaining snatching, mobile snatching, and some sort of deck weight sort of. Here we are writing lawlessness in locality, so it is matching with the topic, but there I have written to the editor, and here we are going to write to the Inspector General of Police, Government Sindh. Subject, you have mentioned subject. Now, dear sir, or you may write respected sir. Dear sir is also formal, respected sir is also formal, my dear student. Again, you will have to follow the same pattern. You will have to write first paragraph like this is the one person is written writing the letter. I, on the behalf of residents of Shah Faisal colony. So one person is writing on the behalf of the rest of the residents of Shah Faisal colony. Right, dear student? So this sort of body would be written that now take the uh, yes, addressing the Inspector General of Police, Government of Sindh, my dear students. Writer is writing the problem. I'm mentioning some points over there that lawlessness that prevails in the area, and they are, people of the locality facing, miserable problems. Like they are mentioning, the person is mentioning over here a tea stall by name Happy Tea Stall is the central place where the bad characters assemble. At the back of stall there is a room where narcotics get together. So my dear students, he is telling about those people. They are gathered for doing some of their lawless activities and some sort of narcotics. They are getting addicted with some sort of narcotics, my dear students. So let's do the next paragraph, my dear student. They also run gambling at that place that they have mentioned, Happy Tea Stall. They also run gambling over there. They also do gambling. Again and again, these people visit the houses of the respectable people and extract money. So they snatch money as well, and even into go into the people's house. So people are very much worried with their for their privacy as well, their earnings, my dear students. If anyone refuses to pay, they make hell with him. Ladies cannot move freely from one house to another house. In short, we are passing our days under terror and threats of these scoundrels. So due to these criminals, people are facing so many problems. Their daily life, their daily common activities are being disturbed by these sort of criminals, by these sort of people. People cannot be cannot survive properly, and they cannot do their daily activities properly. They are very much afraid of these sort of characters, and they are their life has been miserable these days. So many times we approach the local police stations and report it against them, but in vain. So the complaints what the local people, the residents have been doing to the police is not, the police is not taking any action. So like that, no action has been taken as yet. The last paragraph, again to show your request that I therefore earnestly request you to look into the matter and direct the official concerned to put a stop to such unsocial activities and thereby save the society from getting further polluted. My dear students, you can see that very formal language is used over here. Let me complete the letter first. You are sincerely resident of the Shah Faisal colony. So you must have observed, my dear student, both of the letters, the language is used. It is a very formal style of language. Very formal language is used over there. Nowhere you will have to be informal or use any of the discourse, informal discourse marks, and neither you can do any informal language or any informal discourse mark. You will have to be very formal, very nicely, very softly, my dear friends, writing these letters. So you must have understood, I hope. Or thank you very much, my dear friend. I hope you must understand. Inshallah, will be telling you some more of the letters in my different other classes.